another order has found that another individual is the biological father of the child subject to this case?
Yes, Your Honor. State's proposal is as follows. Mr. Vasquez owes an unpaid child support balance of $16,054.87 as of March 31st, 2023. We are requesting a payout of $130 monthly beginning May 1st, 2023. A medical support judgment of $12,548.24 as of March 31st, 2023. State is requesting payout of $113 a month beginning May 1st, 2023. As is the practice, court costs to be billed to non-custodial parents 60 days from today. There was non-disclosure for Mr. Vasquez. Just want to verify it was prior. Sorry, Judge.
Mr. Vasquez dropped, so he just rejoined again.
I am so sorry. I lost connection.
Okay. So I'm not sure if he heard what your proposal was, but child support arrears, the state is requesting a judgment of $16,054.87 with a payout of $130. Medical support arrears, proposed judgment $12,548.24. On child support arrears, state is proposing a payout of $130. On the medical support arrears, state is proposing a payout of $113, both beginning May 1st. She's requesting court costs be billed to Mr. Vasquez and a non-disclosure finding to continue in your favor. That's her proposal. So I just want to make sure that I know you disconnect.
They admitted he wasn't the father. Let that sink in for a second. Even after the truth came out, after science itself said, hey, this man had nothing to do with it, the system still looked him in the eye and said, keep paying. Now, before we dive in, drop a comment. Are modern men more delusional, or is it the ladies? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what we expose next. Because what we're seeing here is beyond unfair. It's institutional betrayal. When the courts admit you're not the father but still demand your wallet like you are, that's not justice. That's a business model. Think about what that means. You can do everything right, stay loyal, responsible, even patient through years of lies, and still end up punished for someone else's choices. And the kicker, the very system that's supposed to protect fairness sides with the lie. Imagine the roles reversed for a second. If a woman was forced to pay for a child that wasn't hers, we'd have national outrage, talk shows, hashtags, Believe Women campaign. But when it happens to a man, silence, mockery, maybe even blame. This isn't just about one man's story. It's a mirror reflecting how broken accountability has become. And the fact that the truth no longer sets you free, it just shows how deep the double standard runs.
Thomas.
Yes, Judge, if I may, I need to clarify the non-disclosure finding. I'm not finding it in the prior order. Just messaging them.
Okay.
But if I may proceed, I call Miss Bautista. Miss Bautista, did you hear the terms I stated to the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Do
Hello?
you agree with the state's request today?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that our system stopped charging current child support and current medical support to Ms. Vasquez
Yes.
the day we found out about the order from CPS establishing someone else as the father?
Yes.
Do you have any safety concerns if your phone number and address were to appear in the court order today?
No.
Is this proposed? Is this proposal in the best interest of your child?
It truly amazes me how often we see people twist the law, not for justice, but for profit. Every time you think it can't get more absurd, someone finds a new way to weaponize the system for a paycheck. So let's get this straight. He's not the father. DNA proved that. The truth is right there on paper. Yet somehow, he's still being forced to finance her lifestyle. Not out of love, not out of choice, but out of legal coercion. And the justification, well, it benefits the child. If that's the logic, then why stop at him? Should the prosecutor pay too? The judge? The mailman who delivered the DNA results? None of them are the father either. You see how ridiculous it gets once you strip away the emotion and look at the principle? This isn't about the child anymore. It's about control. It's about comfort. It's about keeping a man financially tied to a situation he had no part in creating. And that's the part nobody wants to talk about. Because deep down, they know that if a woman ever had to pay for another woman's child simply because it benefits the kid, there would be outrage overnight. The truth is simple. Accountability isn't optional just because you're struggling. If she believes it's okay to force him to pay, then she should have to pay too. Equality, right? It's supposed to work both ways.
Witness,
Okay, well, 1 second. So because now I could get into my odyssey. So I wanted to, I know I heard what you said, but I want to make sure you stated that another order has found that another individual is the biological father of the child subject to this case?
yes, Your Honor. On May 5th, 2022, CPS did an order in the same cause, establishing Ronnie Lee Clements as the father for the child, Michelle Vasquez. But there was a prior AOP, and we had done the initial order in 2012, establishing Mr. Ricardo Vasquez as the father. There's no request for release, Your Honor, of arrears.
Okay, and so the state is requesting to confirm those monies from the prior order against Mr. Vasquez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Although we're aware now that he's not the father, although he signed an acknowledgement of paternity, correct?
You know what's funny, or maybe tragic? The system will bend over backwards to throw out a prenup at the first sign of manipulation. If a woman claims she was pressured, tired, or wasn't in the right state of mind, suddenly that prenup, that legal contract she willingly signed, gets tossed like it never existed. And the same people who say a contract is a contract suddenly find all kinds of emotional exceptions when it benefits one side. But here's where it gets wild. There are even stories of women recommending to each other, hey, take a little something before signing, record it. That way, you can claim you weren't fully aware later on. Strategic vulnerability, pre-planned innocence, and it works. Courts buy it. They'll invalidate a man's legal protection over a mood. Yet, when a man is lied to for years, manipulated into believing a child is his, and the DNA says otherwise, suddenly the law develops amnesia. Where's that same energy for fairness then? If deception can void a prenup, why can't deception void child support for a child that isn't even yours? That's the double standard no one wants to admit. One side gets emotional nuance, the other gets responsibility. And when men start pointing it out, they're labeled bitter, angry, or anti-woman. No, they're just tired of being punished for other people's lies.
Let me ask Mr. Vasquez something. You disagree with their request, Mr. Vasquez?
Yes.
Okay, I do too. I'm gonna have to refer it to district court though, because the relief that possibly you can get, I can't give you. I have a special jurisdiction on what I can rule on. My suggestion to you, Mr. Vasquez, is you need to go hire you an attorney and see what your legal options are. At this point, I am not going to move forward on their pleadings. I'm going to refer the case to district court. You need to hire an attorney. You got it?
Good on this judge for finally standing up and rejecting her proposal and even suggesting the man lawyer up, because let's be honest, in a sane world, this whole situation wouldn't even make it past the first hearing. He's not the father. The truth is clear. Case closed, right? But no, we live in a world where common sense got replaced by emotional lobbying and selective empathy. You can literally prove innocence and somehow still end up on defense. And the fact that this man even needs legal representation to fight something so obviously wrong that tells you everything about the system we're in. It's not about right or wrong anymore. It's about who can twist morality into a paycheck. And that's the scariest part, because the more stories like this we see, the more it proves that fairness isn't guaranteed. It's negotiated. Common sense used to be simple. Truth equals freedom. Now truth has to hire a lawyer.
$40 a week. Okay, if you guys are taking $1,100 from me, how is anybody looking for support with me? Like, if I can't, I'm not going to be able to support my kids if I can't support myself. And Your Honor, I was making the same amount that I was making 4 years ago. So I don't understand how it's up more when I'm making less, because I was working. That's all overtime. Everything it was all overtime. I would rather pay the child to have, instead of her not working. We both should be working. So if I have to pay the child support or for the kids to be in daycare, then it is what it is. But at least I know she's working. But here I am, almost going double to pay a woman that doesn't even work. And I'm literally going to, sir, if I have to pay $1,100 a month, it will break me. It will destroy me. I will once again have to look for another job, and there goes me getting behind again because I can't make the payments. I'm going to literally have to find another job because I do not work enough overtime here to survive if this is the case. I just don't understand how it can double.
Well, because the fact has not been reviewed in so long. Mr. Pratt, if the court imputed that minimum wage to Ms. Sobeski, how much difference would that make? Then, of course, we don't know what the child care costs are.
Sir,
the court has the authority to impute minimum wage to her. Is that correct?
The court can do that, Your Honor, but again, yes, we could do that both ways. We could also make sure we imputed any child care that we may assume. The problem that you're going to have is that it's likely to be more because the child care will be higher if we were to impute an amount for her.
So who's the child care for?
So that's the court's final analysis too, Mr. Grace. The child care costs added in, even if we imputed minimum wage to her, you could be looking at more than $1,103. So this is based upon there's a child support formula set by the state of Michigan, and this is based upon the formula. So at this point in time, the court appreciates your position. I understand it. You can have an attorney review the figures. You can review all the calculations, and I think you will agree with this calculation. But this does not mean you're not.
Their complete disregard for fathers couldn't be clearer if they tried. She has no job, none. Yet somehow the courts expect him to pay more in child support than he even earns from his job. How does that make sense to anyone? Think about that for a second. You're being punished for working hard while the other person gets rewarded for doing nothing. She sends the kids to daycare, not because she's grinding, not because she's studying, but because taking care of her own children is apparently too difficult. So now, not only is she avoiding responsibility, she's outsourcing it, while the man footing the bill gets shamed if he even questions it. That's the reality fathers are living in. And it's not just unfair, it's dehumanizing. We talk endlessly about deadbeat dads, but we never talk about deadbeat systems that make it impossible for men to survive while calling it justice. You can't say you care about families when you're actively destroying the father's ability to provide for one. It's not equality, it's entitlement, dressed up as empathy. And the longer this goes on, the fewer men will even want to start families. Because why build something that can be used against you the moment things fall apart?
$40 a week. Okay, if you guys are taking $1,100 from me, how is anybody looking for support with me? Like, if I can't, I'm not going to be able to support my kids if I can't support myself. And Your Honor, I was making the same amount that I was making 4 years ago. So I don't understand how it's up more when I'm making less, because I was working. That's all overtime. Everything it was all overtime, and I'm working none.
And this calculation is based upon your current employment, not your former employment. It's based upon your current employment.
I was making more at my former employment. You see what I'm saying? I was making more.
Your Honor.
Calculation. Mr. Pratt, do you
At the request of the court, if I put mom in at minimum wage and $800 a month in childcare, which is probably a low estimate, the support goes up to $1,504. Just so you're aware.
Who's the child? Who's the daycare for?
for the children?
They go to
Mom's
school.
got to work. Somebody's got to watch the children.
They go to school and she has a husband.
Okay. Well, but then they need latchkey after school in the summertime.
There's two parents in the household.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're 11 and 7.
Yeah, it might be well worth it to invest in an attorney. Just have an attorney consult for this limited issue of child support. Have him run the figures. If he knows the Michigan child support guidelines, Mr. Grace.
But why would
it rely upon
you
the
guys are
firm of
telling
the
me
court,
this is
Mr.
what you
Pratt?
guys ran and it's 1103? Why would it change if I get a lawyer? That's just more money that I have to spend in the broker I get.
Because you can confirm with the lawyer that this is a very good recommendation. That's what you can confirm.
I already know what's I already know. I either go with 1103 or I get screwed at the 1500. So I'm in a win-lose-lose situation. It just makes zero sense to me how somebody can sit at home and do nothing, do absolutely nothing, dress my kids like slobs, make them. It's horrible, man.
All right, Mr.
They
Grace.
come home and tell me,
Mr. Grace. Okay, Mr. Grace, this is what we'll do. Let's give it. I'm going to pay minimum wage to her, and we'll add in child care costs. Mr. Pratt saying it's about $800. That's average. And
we'll keep it at
you want to pay
$1,103.
$1,500, Mr. Grace? Do you want to keep arguing about this because it's going to go up? I can guarantee.
If you enjoyed this video, trust me, you're going to love what's coming next. We're just getting started exposing the double standards, the delusion, and the truth people try to hide. So hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because the next one, it's going to shake the table even harder. I'll see you there.